You've just tuned in to the greatest podcast in the world right now, today, this second. It's And the Wife with Anastasia.
Right now, we have high flow rate. So, and I do stuff like that just because I don't believe in superstitions.
So maybe somebody just called it a superstition because they were tired of telling people they were being stupid.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like, don't open that. You're just going to have to close it before you go out that door.
Yeah.
And someone just said, you know what? If I just say it's superstitious.
Like, you're going to have bad luck. Then, dun, dun, dun. I better not do this. I don't want bad luck.
Yeah, they were tired of saying, look, dummy.
Dummy? You a dummy. Yeah. So.
It's not that bad. You can't even taste the tequila in here.
Okay. But what do you taste?
Grape soda.
Just grape soda and tequila. You can't taste tequila, so it's not bad?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's not strong.
It's not strong?
I could put more in there.
It sounds super gross to me, though.
No, but you don't like grape soda, so it doesn't really matter.
Grape soda's okay. It just makes your poop a real weird color, and I don't...
Green.
Yeah, I'm not feeling green poop right now.
Green poop. Okay, so fun emails?
Yeah, like the kids send to each other. The emojis, not emojis, what are they called? GIFs? No, what are the things... Memes.
That's not a... Everybody sends that to everybody.
Yeah. Do they?
Yeah.
Sometimes they're more, I guess, inappropriate. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if something is sexual and you send it to someone...
Yeah.
Then anything can be intended or... thought of as sexual if you're sending somebody something sexual.
Yeah.
If it's a baby kicking a man in the nuts, then that's just funny.
Okay.
You can send that to the whole office and it'd just be funny. But if it's like somebody making the finger in a hole, like GIF, and you're sending it to a man and it's a woman, that would be considered sexual and not a fun meme. And you don't send those over email. Nobody does that anymore.
Is that right?
Yeah, you text it to someone.
I don't meme.
Does anyone actually eat bonbons?
Yeah, that is a question I have.
Who eats bonbons?
Exactly. Who's eating bonbons?
They're not really advertising a lot. Do they even exist still?
I guess. Sure. I think the last time I saw someone was in a movie theater.
Isn't it just chocolate covered
ice cream? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd eat it. I'd eat the
I'm
shit
sure.
out of that right now. If I had some right now in front of me,
you would eat it right now, but it's like this.
You're not going out like
to buy bonbons, but it's like people
because it's not
say
1961.
Housewives just sit around eating bonbons all day.
Yeah,
and I was
that
like,
was.
I've never sat around eating bonbons during the day. And I wonder, are there housewives are out there doing that? Like, ooh, all my kids are at school. My husband's at work. It's my time now. I'm going to sit down by the fireside and eat some bonbons.
No, they would melt.
Well, I like my ice cream soft, so.
Classic bonbon since 1973.
You're a classic bonbon since 1973.
How old? Yeah. 72. You're 73.
You didn't become a classic until the next year.
Yeah. No, there's Nestle Dibs, that's kind of like a bonbon.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing.
But, I mean, I think they're Crunch, aren't they?
That makes it worse.
Why you got to be hating on Crunch?
I don't like Crunch.
You don't have to talk
I feel
shit
like the
about
Crunch is just air they're adding to your chocolate.
No, it's not air. It's something in there that
There's
makes them
crunchy things. I don't want crunchy things unless nuts. I like a nut in a...
Yeah, I bet you do.
in my chocolate, but I don't like other crunchy things in there.
It's funny. We were listening to, I was reading the the Blue Bunny. We were listening to some trap Latino.
Why are you always trying to trap those poor Latinos?
Yeah, on the way to school. And there's this guy.
You were playing trap Latino for our child.
I was playing one song. Yeah, calm down. It was fine. It wasn't explicit.
Okay.
And they wouldn't know anyways. But anyways, one of the guys' name is Bad Bunny. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't, like, when he speaks English, he doesn't necessarily have a thick accent. So he could say Bad Bunny like I'm saying it right now. Mm-hmm. But when he's singing the song, he says, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny, man.
Okay.
Bad Bunny. Uh-huh. And Sophie and I were talking about it, how hilarious it is that when he's singing in Spanish, he says, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, like with a thick accent. He's saying English words with a thick accent. But when he says it in real life, he says Bad Bunny.
Okay. It's part of his thing to be more trappy Latino-y.
Yeah.
No?
And the guy's name, and the guy that he has an album with, his name is J Balvin. Uh-huh. And he says it in English, J, because J is how you say it in English. Mm-hmm. And he says, J Balvin. J Balvin, man. Bad Bunny. J Balvin.
Yeah. Not Hey Balvin?
And it's not like Hey Balvin. Hey Balvin. No, he says J Balvin. Bad Bunny. And the entire rest of the song is in Spanish.
Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Right? I mean, it's weird.
I don't know how the trap works.
What's the point of that? I don't think it has anything to do with trap. I mean, what's the point of saying Bad Bunny?
Because it sounds more interesting.
Or saying J Balvin. J Balvin, man. When he could say, like, in the accent, too. Like, why isn't he saying it in the accent? Or why is he saying J in English?
Yeah. Because his name is J. There's no name J in Spanish, is there?
No, it's J. Balvin. So he's not saying J the name.
Oh. Okay.
He's saying the initial. He's saying the initial J, man.
I don't know the Balvins.
I don't know. You don't hang out with the Balvins on the weekend?
I don't know the Balvins.
Well, the Balvins and I went out to the Berkshires. Well, yeah, what's the point of that?
Because it sounds more interesting to the ear.
Nah, J Balvin.
Because then you wouldn't know what that is.
And they say man. Bad Bunny, man.
Yeah, man.
Bad Bunny, man.
Well, that's just man. Everybody says the man.
But
hey, man.
They're saying it with a thick, heavy Spanish accent.
Yes.
In English.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the song is in Spanish.
Yeah. It's,
Do you think, like, the managers are like, this is your trademark. You have to say it this way.
Yes.
Like, stick to one. No, J Balvin. J Balvin.
Because.
Whatever they say.
You want people like the idea of stereotypes. So they want him to have the accent. If he doesn't have the accent, it's not as authentic. Trappy Latino. Yeah.
But when he talks, it's just J Balvin.
Well, maybe he's not good at doing the accent when he's talking.
He's not good at the accent
when he's just talking. It's like, all those British singers that you don't know they're British when they're singing because you don't really hear the accent, and then when they talk, are like, "Wait a second, you're a foreigner."
You're a foreigner.
Where'd that accent come from?
America.
They took our jobs. Yeah.
But who can't get rid of that is who's that? What's her name? Adele. Mm-hmm. She still sings with an accent, though.
I don't hear her accent when she sings.
I do. But, what's his name?
Who's that?
Who's the redhead kid?
You're the one that likes that redheaded weirdo.
But it's funny.
I don't care for the guy.
You still hear his accent when he's singing, like, heavy.
I don't think I've heard him I don't think I've had a song on long enough to hear an accent happen. Because as soon as I hear him, like, click.
Click. Yeah, you get out your remote from under your seat in the car, and you point it towards the radio, TV
somewhere
screen
in
radio.
The radio's vicinity.
And you say click.
Yeah.
You don't actually push a button.
Click.
You point
on the redhead.
You point a pen. You point a pen.
Go click, click.
At the radio and say, click, fool. Change.
No, thank you.
No, he uses English terms.
Me gusta.
He uses English terms in his songs, too.
English terms?
English, because he's English.
English?
British terms.
Uh-huh.
Because he's from British.
He needs to go back to British.
Yeah. He's from British, so he uses those British terms. It's funny. Oh, yeah, we were listening to Essentials the other day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were just dying.
Essentials of what?
The guy, Ed Sheeran.
Oh.
You know, on Apple Music, you can, if you pick an artist, you can pick an essential playlist that is curated by Apple. It's their essentials or whatever.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know.
And it's basically their most famous songs out of all their albums.
Oh, so you're exposing my child to the Ed Sheeran also?
Exposing? She knew the damn songs already, man. You're exposing her to trap and Ed Sheeran?
What?
On a Tuesday? The fuck is going to happen on Saturday?
Yes. What's going to happen on Saturday? What are you going to play for her then?
Run the Jewels.
Oh, no, please. Oh, my gosh. Run the Jewels.
I was listening to that on the way home.
With Sophie in the car?
Oh, just me.
So I heard that one song by them on the radio, edited.
Which one? The
You got a bag full of dicks, something.
Bag
that song?
full of dicks?
Is
No.
that what the guy says on the song?
No, he says dick in your mouth all day.
No, not that one.
Oh, you're talking about that other one.
Yes.
The one that is on like everything.
Yes.
It's on
yes, it's on
movie.
everything. Yeah, it's on that movie with the kids. And
the Good Boys or
yeah.
Good Boy.
And so the edited version they play on the radio.
What's the fucking point of that?
I don't know. It's like that song that I like so much. I Don't Fuck With You, that song. They play it on the radio, but every other word is bleeped out.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the point?
Well, if you have a good track, good beat, some people just like to hear that and just they hear the curses.
They hear. I can still.
I'll do the curses.
I can feel the curses in my body when I hear it.
I'll say the curse. So I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like, would you prefer to hear the original song, which is the curses taken out, or a radio version of the song?
I like the radio versions. I think
a song that has a lot of curses in it, or just
I think there should be a radio version. Just like, remember, I think this whole thing with them changing songs and editing them really happened with that CeeLo Green song, "Forget You."
No,
I mean that
in the 80s and
I
90s.
heard but Frank, I heard like 5 different versions of that song.
The "Forget You."
Yeah, the "Forget You" part. It was different because they start saying "Forget You" was like the 5th iteration of the song. Like first it was just like bleeping out the fuck part, or they would just make the noise like whatever the noises they make when they bleep it out, and then it was like silence.
Yeah, someone stepping on a small tiny duck,
and then it was silence for the fuck part, and then they got to a radio version where it was "Forget You." Mm-hmm. But I haven't heard that many different versions of songs where they're cursing, but now it seems like they just have like a lot of the silence and more music, in that part these days. But I think all songs should have radio edits. Like I heard a song for the first time on the Tonight Show last night, and I was like, oh, I kind of dig this. It's kind of cool. I'm going to put it on a playlist.
What song is that?
Oh, I don't even know now. I didn't know the guy. I'd never heard the song before.
Like that. Remember the Enrique Iglesias song?
Yeah, I didn't know that song was so dirty until I didn't know.
Wow. How's the song go?
'Cause tonight I'm fucking you. Ooh. But I had never heard that. I've never heard that. I'd only heard "Tonight I'm Loving You."
Oh, yeah.
And the radio version. And then when I heard when I tried to put it on a playlist and that the real version came on, I was like, what is this?
What?
Wait a second, guys. Hold up. This is too much for me. I can't handle it. Relax. I can't even with all this. And so I think I like the radio edits. I don't want to hear all that cursing when I'm trying to listen to music. I want to be able to play anything in the car and have anybody in the car with me. I don't want to hear all the explicit language. And so I prefer the radio edits. What do you?
I'm talking about if it's just you.
Even if it's just me, I still like the radio edits. When I like Tonight I'm Loving You better than the real version. And I like Forget You better than the original version. And the song...
last night it was Charlie Puth. Is that his name?
No, the
guy with the big sweater on. Wasn't him last night?
No, gross. I don't want any poofs.
It says Niall Horn and
the
Camila
guy's
Cabello
name,
featuring the
baby. No. Yeah, it must have been the night before then. The Baby, I saw that, and I'm
Gary Clark Jr.?
Yes, Gary Clark Jr. It's a song called This Land. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. It has this really great, like, guitar riff in it and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can get into this. And then I tried to put it on a playlist.
And it was curses.
So many curses. I was like, gosh, guys, could you just edit the songs and just let me have those?
Is it country?
No, I don't listen to country, man. No.
You know what was weird?
I've
been listening to the Christmas station.
Yeah, me too.
And they're playing a lot of fucking country versions.
Oh.
Of the Christmas songs.
I guess I'm not hearing it when I'm listening. I think I heard one country version of one song.
Willie Nelson had a Frosty the Snowman, and I was kind of getting into it, though.
Yeah? All right, so you're digging the country right now?
I don't really consider Willie Nelson country music. He's more like Western.
Okay. I don't think they really have that anymore. It's just country. It's just country now. It's not country and Western. It's just country.
Yeah, but he's like blues and Western and not country. Okay. Right?
I don't know.
But I was kind of getting into Willie Nelson was doing his thing with Frosty the Snowman. He was dancing a little. I was bobbing my head. I was like,
yeah.
Well,
a lot of people like country music. I just don't happen to be one of those
Western.
People. Country.
Oh, I'm not.
It's not Western.
Well, I like to listen to that station, but it was way too much country going on. Every time I changed to it during the day, fucking country version.
I was like, dude, please.
Somebody named why? Melissa.
Hey, this is probably why. Because that country thing is in town right now.
Country thing?
Yeah. It's like some rodeo stuff going on right now. It's been going on all week.
Just because it's rodeo doesn't mean it's country.
No. You
think those guys come out with trap music?
Country trap?
Yeah.
Probably.
It's called crap.
Why?
Well, that's what what's his name is doing.
Who's that?
The Lil Nas. They keep shoving his fucking Panini song down my throat.
Gosh, sounds painful.
It is painful. It comes on, and I'm like, what? I was talking to Sophie about that too. On the way to school, like every morning, that fucking song comes on. It's like they need to stop. The song is not good. It is horrible.
I haven't heard it.
And
I don't listen
the other
to the
song,
pop musics either.
The other song was like okay, like not probably wouldn't have been a hit if he wasn't like his background story.
His back. Well, I mean, I don't know. The background story is kind of interesting, but the funny part of the story to me is that Tabitha says she didn't like the song, didn't like the guy.
I don't like the song.
The popular one, the Country Road, whatever.
Yeah, Old Town Road.
Old Town Road. And she's like, until he came out as gay, and then I'm like, okay, I like him. I was like, what?
Why does it make a difference?
That's what I said. She's like, well, I have respect for that. I was like, whatever. But the rodeo, so there's all these people walking down the street in Vegas with these cowboy hats and their cowboy boots, and they're everywhere all the time. It's like we're in Texas. It's really weird. And then there's someone sticking these cowboy hats on the pigeons
Everybody seems to know about this story, but no one has actually seen the pigeon.
Someone's seen them. They were on the news.
I think somebody did it and then took a video of it, and they're like, somebody's putting hats on pigeons.
Yeah.
Like, there probably was one hat on one pigeon, and they put it on Instagram, and they're like, who the hell's doing this? It's definitely not me doing this and taking a video.
All I know is when I'm driving around town, I'm looking for pigeons all the time. I really want to see a pigeon with a hat on.
Everybody knows about this fucking story.
Yes.
And nobody's seen it except for the one video that the one person took that definitely was not the person who did it. Right?
Well, it's like making me interested in pigeons. So if that was the point,
pigeons
it's working.
Fucking suck, man. They're rats with wings.
But the fact that they have cowboys hats on is like super exciting for me. I just really want to see one.
Why are so many pigeons have a missing foot? What do they do with these feet?
They go through stuff, Frank. They have hard lives. People don't like them.
How long do pigeons live?
People shoot at them and stuff.
Well, because they're rats.
Oh, gosh.
They're just rats with wings.
No, they're just pigeons. Pigeons and rats are two different creatures.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the same thing. They're just minding their little pigeon lives. They're just not cute, and that's why people don't like them.
So if you had to guess how long pigeons live, like average life.
I don't know how long pigeons live. How long do birds live? Birds
pigeons.
live for like 100 years. I don't know.
Some birds?
Yeah.
What's the average lifespan of a pigeon?
I'm going to say 25 years.
6.
6 years?
In the wild.
Gosh, that's a short life. When there's other pigeons that can live for 100 years, that seems unfair to the pigeons. They have short lives. Why are people so mean to them?
And what happens to the pigeons, like, when they die? Why isn't there a gang of dead pigeons everywhere since there's so many fucking dead pigeons?
Man. They die and then something eats them.
Like a person's eating them or just other animals?
Probably both.
My dad used to eat pigeons.
Well, see, you were asking who eats pigeons, and your dad
I says what happens to pigeons when they die.
People eat them, like your dad.
If somebody shoots a pigeon,
your dad's
and eats them.
Why was your dad eating pigeons?
He's fucking weird, man. These old Mexican dudes will just do weird shit.
Was he catching the pigeons and eating them?
He was shooting them with a BB gun.
See, like I said, people kill pigeons and they shoot at them for no reason.
Well, the reason was to eat it.
Did you ever eat any pigeons?
Hell no.
So when he was eating pigeons, you were like, nope.
I'd be like, I got some stuff I got to do. Like 6 years old. I think I need to do my taxes. I have to go over here and like.
No pigeon for me, thank you. So did you ever learn how to dress an animal?
No.
No?
No.
Did you ever pay attention to anything?
I watched.
Yeah, no. So you watched, but you didn't absorb anything from that?
No, I mean, it's basic stuff. Like you boil the dead animal. I mean, you take all the guts out and then you boil it to get all the feathers off.
You boil it?
Well, I don't know I think you boil it first. I think you boil it to get all the feathers off after you cut the head off.
Parasites and whatnot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I think you cut the chicken's head off.
Now we're at chickens, not pigeons anymore?
Let it run around or whatever. Well, the pigeon was dead from getting shot. The chicken, you just grab the neck and twist it around.
Yes, I saw one of those happen too. Yeah. And I was like, why is this happening? I don't want to see this. I can't. And then I couldn't eat the chicken. I was like, I can't see you do that and then eat that.
But you can eat the shit out of a chicken now. You still know that happened. Well, it doesn't happen.
No, now, because I don't see the head and I don't see it alive. Ugh.
Yeah.
Do I look green to you? Because I feel green.
You have a green can?
I might need a second spritzer.
Spritzer.
That's what it is, a spritzer.
Yeah.
it's a pear spritzer.
Heavy on the spritz. Heavy on the
not
slamming
heavy
it down on the table.
enough on the spritz. It's only 5.5% alcohol.
I've seen the entire process. I've seen the goat many times.
I know you've seen the goat many times.
So delicious. You know, these animals do die.
Oh.
But
I
anyways.
think I just became a vegetarian.
So I was thinking about pet peeves the other day while I was driving. Mm-hmm. Well, I wasn't thinking, oh, this is my pet peeve. I was thinking, man, this really pisses me off while I'm driving.
What's that?
When you're driving and someone just kind of starts getting over like all slow, but they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
They're not accidentally.
They're just drifting into your lane.
They're drifting into your lane on purpose, all super fucking slow.
Yeah.
And then slowing down.
Yeah.
It's like, what was the point of that?
It's a merge.
You could have just stayed your bitch ass where you were and went slow. I'm in the left lane. It's not like they were going to get off the freeway.
Yeah.
They're merging into the left lane and then going all slow. And then it's like, why? Why'd you just take
that lane?
4.5 hours to change lanes to get into my fucking lane and go slow?
They like your lane better than their lane.
But the one that's worse than that is when someone flicks their cigarette onto my car.
That happens to you?
It happens a lot.
What?
Yeah. And you can always tell when it's about to happen.
Maybe you should move your car away.
No, I've been the last couple of years. I can anticipate when it's going to happen. I just slow down so that it hits the freeway instead. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Why?
Litter bugs. That bothers me. It's my pet peeve.
It's like, you have a fucking ashtray. Put it in the ashtray.
Are there ashtrays in cars still?
Yeah.
Is there an ashtray in my new car?
No.
Well, see, maybe there aren't ashtrays in cars anymore.
There's ashtray options, like in the center console.
Yeah.
You can get an ashtray option.
Well, who's buying this upgraded ashtray option?
People who smoke should be getting that and not flicking their fucking. They got to put the ashes somewhere.
They're just flicking them out the window.
Using everything. Smoking with their left hand and flicking it out the window.
Yeah.
And then just like flicking the fucking cigarette under my car.
Litter. I hate litterers, and I hate them so much, and I feel like they need to be punished more harshly than they are.
Like cut their fingers off?
No. Gosh.
Every time you litter,
this is not
a finger must come off.
No. Like you have to clean the roads and stuff. But like for like a ridiculous amount of time where it's like I never
6 months.
No, like something like
6
like a
months.
solid month, like the first time. And then if you get caught again, something like 3 months. If you get caught a third time, it's like 6. If you get caught a fourth time, it's like a year. And then you will not want to litter anymore because then the world will be a cleaner place. You get caught doing it, you have to clean up. Or maybe it'll backfire. Somebody will say, hey, well, I have to clean it anyway if I get caught, so I'll just keep throwing trash.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You sound like the mama from Throw Mama on the Train.
Yeah. That's what I hear when I think of people who litter.
Well, because they're smokers and they sound like mama from
I'm not just talking about smokers. That's you. I'm tired of people smoking weed in their cars where I can smell it when I'm driving down the freeway.
Yeah.
It's
hotboxing.
It's an epidemic is what it is. I don't know why these people don't get pulled over more for all their marijuanas.
For all the plural version, the marijuanas.
Yes, all the wanas. Too much wanas on the freeway.
Too much wanas on the freeway. Mm-hmm. What else do people throw out of their car? Like
food?
Oh yeah,
trash.
Like when you're going to a parking lot, there's like a bag of fucking McDonald's right there.
Dirty diapers.
And then you're like 5 feet from a fucking trash can.
Yeah, dirty diapers. Is nasty.
Do something about that shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you. They got to get like 3 months and you have to wear that orange vest and stuff.
So did you ever see a story? Did you see the whole story about what happened to that guy who unknowingly killed himself with the Percocet?
Did I? No, I never saw any of the stories.
What's his name? Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD.
I never saw any. I only know what you told me. Yeah,
that was crazy. So they were saying that, like, he swallowed the pills because there's a mandatory jail sentence.
Okay.
In the state wherever it is they landed, and they're saying that one of his friends told on him.
His friend told him that was on the plane there's a jail sentence, or someone had told him before he left?
One of his friends ratted him out.
Oh.
Told on him. Not told him.
Oh.
But told on him.
Why? What kind of friend is that?
Not one at all. A hater.
That guy needs to spend some time in jail. It seems like it's manslaughter.
Well, it was a rumor. But they had like so much weed on the airplane. Mm-hmm. I'm going to look this up because It was just a crazy, like an ungodly amount, like 300 pounds or like just bags and bags and bags of marijuana in a state where it's not legal.
Yeah, I was telling Tabitha, I was like, I think it's unfortunate. It's so sad because he's such a young guy, 21-year-old kid, and he made a stupid mistake, made a bad choice, and that's it. And he's gone forever because he made the wrong decision one time.
So, yeah, he was going to Chicago, Illinois.
Mm-hmm. And she said that, he should have known better than to take drugs like the drugs he was taking, because if he said
his friends were saying that he was kind of addicted to those drugs, so he probably thought like a heavy dose wasn't going to do anything to him.
Well, if you're already high on something, your judgment is not that crystal clear either, and he's young, because 21-year-olds are not like
their thoughts aren't fully formed.
No, their brains are not fully formed. And so they're not thinking about the outcome of their choices. And she felt like, well, he shouldn't have been taking the drugs. But then I think it goes into like peer pressure. I think if you're in certain fields, certain professions, and you hang around certain types of people, then it's what's expected. And you do those things and you don't know that you're going to get hooked on it.
Yeah.
Or you see like every movie with young people who are performers and stuff like that, they're all hooked on some sort of drugs and they're always partying and stuff. And then maybe you feel like you have to do those things.
But why did he have to bring all this? His 41 bags of marijuana.
I'm telling you.
6 prescription bottles of liquid codeine.
He wanted to make sure he was ready for whatever happened with everybody. He wanted to be able to party with everybody. It's not as much fun if you're partying by yourself.
Yeah, but just get it when you get to where you're going.
Maybe he thought, if I go there and I try to look for somebody to deal to me in a place where it's legal, then I could go to jail. I know my dealer wherever I'm from, and I'm going to get it, where I know it's safe.
Yeah, so somebody called in a tip that he had all this shit on him and guns.
What's the guns for?
I don't know. Killing people? 70 pounds of weed.
Jesus.
Why?
It's a party. He had big plans for Chicago. He wanted to party hardy like it was 1999.
Apparently. So they arrested 2 people on there, but it was for gun possession.
Why? See, I'm telling you, it's like a thing. Like, I want to be like this type of person, so I'm going to carry guns around with me. Or I want to be like this type of person, so I'm going to have lots of drugs. I'm going to take really hard drugs like this, the lean stuff you were talking about.
That's the liquid codeine.
The liquid codeine. I'm going to take that. Or what's the one with the Jolly Ranchers in it? What's that?
Yeah, that's it.
That's lean. Okay.
So Jolly Rancher, and it has to be Sprite.
Okay.
It's not real lean unless it has Sprite.
All right, thanks. More facts with Frank.
You gotta mix it right though. Do trash people know that they are trash? What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
It means exactly what you just read.
I mean, people that are, like you would say, that person's trash. Like that? Trash? Like
trashy people.
They're shitty people.
They're not great people. Yeah. They're not winning at life.
Do they know
and
they're
they
shitty?
do stuff that's trashy, like wear their pajamas and their slippers outside in the streets.
Yeah.
Like it's clothes and shoes when they're not. Wear hair curlers in the street, which I don't really see that so much anymore.
Nobody curls their hair anymore.
They do, but just with machines and not with archaic rollers. People who scream at their mates in public in the street.
Yeah, that's trash.
In front of their houses. People who set up in front of their houses, in their front yards, barbecues and pools and stuff like that, or just hang out all the time smoking and stuff like that in front of their houses. Do they think about themselves that way?
No.
People who curse.
They just think that's everyday life.
In front of children, in public all over the place in front of everybody as loud as they possibly can, it's trashy. It's not appropriate in mixed company.
Mixed company. Trashy and non-trashy.
It's like, do you know that, hey, I'm kind of being not acceptable in public. Like, other people probably aren't enjoying the stuff I'm doing right now. That. Do you think those people know that? Or like when you see guys walking around, like I've seen guys with pants that where they have a belt and it's literally underneath their behinds and their whole underwear is showing. That's trashy. I don't want to see any dude's underwear. I don't want to see it. It's gross. I don't want to see your booty crack.
Do they know where that started?
Where it started?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where it starts.
You know the story behind that, right?
I do not. It doesn't matter. It's still trashy. I don't care why it is. It just is.
Well, one of the stories is that it started in jail, and then that means you're available.
I don't know. What? Never heard that one.
Yeah.
Is that one of the stories?
One of the stories.
That's what the man said. He said.
Maybe somebody said that to try to get people to stop doing it.
Well, you're saying that you would like someone to put some stuff in your pooter.
What?
No.
Yeah, that's what it means. That's the official jail meaning. That's how you're supposed to read that one. It's the loudest drinking ever.
Oh, you want me to do it a little louder than that? Okay, hold on.
And then go
Hold on.
while you do it.
Well, I don't know if I can go and drink at the same time. What's the mean?
That's that whole thing where these kids go on YouTube and make those noises.
Did you hear that one?
Yeah, there's like I forgot what it was called. Visco Girls.
I don't know what that is.
The Chet Buchanan in the Morning guy, he was talking about it, and I was like, what the hell is that? Mm-hmm. And they were describing, and it was these chicks that record themselves making that noise, and there was some very specific things that go along with it.
Like what kind of things?
I'm looking up right now. Here it is. This is on Urban Dictionary. Typically an 8th grade girl.
8th grade in particular.
That was the love child of Snapchat and Tumblr. This species of little shit can be seen at your local Starbucks with a metal straw, a scrunchie, a signature hydro flask, and a big crater on the side of their head. Bisco girls obtain dangerous as their general idiocy, is stored in glands in their mouth and it has to be released as a lethal toxin. Occasionally the toxin will lay dormant, however, when a Visco girl makes their trademark mating calls or and I oop. The toxin is excreted and kills anyone within a 50-foot distance.
I'm not following what
they're making fun of it.
I understand, but what are they doing? The girls are just making videos of themselves making sick noise?
Yeah.
That's it?
Uh-huh.
That's the whole thing?
They wear Birkenstocks. Says you have to wear Birkenstocks.
Okay. So I heard a couple of stories.
About who?
So it's a woman I know who recently lost her mother, and her mother passed away like that week of Halloween.
Uh-huh.
And she's been getting signs from her mother, she thinks. And the first one was poems. Her father was cleaning out the mother's purses because this woman has a sister also. Mm-hmm. And the mom owned a lot of purses, and the dad thought maybe his daughters wanted them. He didn't know if they were worth anything or not. And he knows how girls are with purses.
Uh-huh.
So he was taking all his wife's things out of the purses. and he came upon a folded up poem in one, and the poem was about like carrying a burden and grief and how hard it is and how heavy it is, and then how one day you realize you're lighter than you were before from the grief. It's gone away. And the woman I know, let's call her Mindy. So Mindy said that she thought it was the poem was from her mother. It was her mother's poem, and that her mother somehow kind of inadvertently left that to help her through her sorrow and her loss. And that the dad thought, because the mother had a chronic disease, she had I think it was MS. And so she was in pain and stuff, and over many years. Yeah. And the dad thought, no, it's probably because of this. She carries this burden all the time. But either way, I thought it was interesting how you can interpret things differently depending on yourself, who you are, and how you feel about it.
What was her mother known for writing poems a lot?
No, it wasn't a poem her mother had written. It was one that her mother just had in her purse. Her mother was a teacher, she said, and really loved literature and loved poetry. And then a couple of days later, my friend Mindy found a book in a box of old things of her own, from her mother, a book of poetry. And the inscription inside the book was about how no matter how far away we are from each other, I'm always with you, and I always love you, and I'm so proud of you, and stuff like that. And so she felt like she hadn't seen the book in years, and she says that she thinks her mother gave it to her. She had moved from their home state to another one. It was her first time leaving home, and her mother gave her that book, and she was just so happy to find it. And then the inscription side was so,
uplifting.
Yeah, it helped her because she felt like her mother was still there no matter how far apart they were. And so she felt like it was both of these poems were signs from her mother. Like her mother from the great beyond is leaving these things for the family to help them through their hardship of losing her. And then so recently she told me that she got another sign from her mom. She said that her mother drove a Prius. And it's a newer car, so you have to have a key fob for it. Yeah. If you don't have the fob, it doesn't do anything. And she was just in the garage of her parents' home because they were having a celebration of life for her mother. Yeah. And so she and her aunt were in the garage, and Mindy said she noticed that her mother's car was in there and not her dad's car because she thought it was weird, because the dad had sold his own car and decided to keep his wife's car. And then while they were in the garage talking, and the car started by itself and started making noises. It started making the hum. It was on. I said, I thought Priuses didn't make noises. She's like, they make a little hum noise and you could hear it. And she said it was definitely on, and it came on by itself while we were standing there, and we didn't have the keys. And so she said that she went and found her dad, and her dad said, oh, well, the key is in a drawer somewhere, and he went and got it and turned the car off. But he's like, I don't know how that happened. Yeah. Because it doesn't usually do that. It doesn't happen. That's weird. She said she felt like, because she was thinking about her mother when the car came on. She said that her mother had always had red cars. Yeah. And so she was like, because her mother, I thought it was funny because it sounds like me. I told you I tried to get in the wrong car the other day because I don't know what cars look like. I don't know my own car from any other car.
Not again.
Yeah, they all look the same. And so she was saying how her mother always had a red car because she wanted something that stood out, because she has all cars look the same to her.
Yeah.
And she used to have she had like an antenna on her older cars, with a little thing on the antenna so she could find her car in a parking lot. And so she said, and then it happened. And I was like, she's like, it's crazy. And she's like, I don't know if I believe in ghosts or spirits or anything, but she said it was so uncanny and so strange because she's like, because my aunt that was with me and I both heard it and both saw it come on, and we both were the closest to my mother, like super close to her. And it's like she was letting us know that at this celebration of life ceremony that she was there.
Yeah.
And she said my dad didn't know what to do with the whole experience because he's an atheist and he doesn't think there's anything after life.
Yeah.
And that he thought, it's just a malfunction with the car or whatever, but she thought it was really comforting to her. So have you ever had any experiences with what you think of as like signs from the great beyond?
No.
Nothing ever, never ever.
No.
Not even once.
No.
That's crazy to me. I think, even though I don't think I believe in ghosts or spirits or anything like that, I do think one time, because it was weird, I thought your mother was at our house when we lived in Moreno Valley.
Yeah.
I was out in the front yard trying to plant something that eventually died, of course, because I'm not good with that. And all of a sudden I smell perfume and cigarettes. And there was no one else out. There was no one else around. I was like, I don't know if you remember, like in front of the dining room window, because it was like in a little cubby.
Yeah, it had a bay.
Yeah. Well, no, went in, not the kitchen, the dining room.
The
living room came out, the garage came out, and the dining room was like tucked in. And so it was just me out there, and nobody at our house smokes. And I smelled cigarettes and I smelled perfume as soon after we moved into that house. And I was like, Glenda, if you're here, he's fine. Thanks for visiting. But because I thought it was like really bizarre. But I did tell my friend Mindy, I said, I don't know if I've ever, other than that one time, experienced anything like that. My sister and my brothers and my mom have seen weird stuff in our house.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anything. But I feel like I see people that I've lost in my dreams.
Yeah.
I've had dreams with everyone in my family that's deceased, like they're just there, like doing their regular thing.
A lot of people do have that.
And I asked them, like, what are you doing here? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like so weird because it's
why would
like,
I not be here?
Yeah, it's like, why are you here? What do you? And so I told her, I was like, I'm sure you'll have those too with your mom, where you'll see her and you'll be able to talk to her, and she'll be, you'll feel like she's there, because I think I've had, a lot of dreams with my father where he's just like, sitting there watching sports. like, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
You walk into a room and he's just there chilling.
Yeah, he's just there.
Watch TV.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, or he just walks through the kitchen, like gets a beer and then walks back out. I'm like, what? And no one reacts except for me. Like, I'm the only person that knows.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys not remember that he's been dead? You don't remember? How do I remember? But no one else knows. So, I don't know. I just think it's like...
yeah, you're all yourselves at the current time.
Yeah, I'm myself.
Yeah.
And it's now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, maybe that's where ghosts came from. People dream about the people they miss, and then they get confused with if they're awake or they're asleep, because he's just walking around our house, and your mom's just like at our house, and so it's like a dream, but it's based in reality.
Yeah.
So it could be more like, okay, it's like they were there. I feel comforted by seeing them or talking to them or something. So maybe that's a ghost. I don't know.
Oh. If you ask Zach Begans, ask him and he'll tell you. It's all about the ghosts.
Yeah, okay. I'm talking about real life stuff, not fake fantasy. Oh, I heard a noise and I'm walking around in the dark. Anybody who walks around dark buildings is going to hear weird random noises.
Yeah.
Like when we go to stay like at my mom's house, when we go to visit, I hear weird noises all night long.
Yeah.
Because they're just different noises that I'm used to hearing at night. When I hear those weird noises,
or just noises.
Yeah, I can't hear. I'm like, what is this? What is this sound? What does that mean? What's like? And my mom's not fazed by any of those sounds. She hears those sounds all the time.
The most we hear is like the wind knocking stuff around in the backyard.
Crickets. So, hearing weird. But if someone stayed here and they heard the wind knocking stuff around and crickets all night, they would be like, what the heck is happening?
That is really loud.
That's scary sounding noises. Mm-hmm. And so walking around in a dark place, in a foreign place that's not your regular place, is scary. It doesn't mean anything scary is happening to you. It's just in a different place.